Hi, I'm Jesse Nelson.
Peggy Glockham.
Jason Opsal.
Lacey Rotem.
Cindy McGlasson.
Gina Nelson.
I'm a physical education teacher at Minnetonka School West.
I teach 8th grade global studies.
Physical education teacher.
Speech pathologist at MME.
And I teach 8th graders math.
We use the iPad in our teaching.
They're using the iPad most of the time.
And I use the iPad in my teaching.
I use the iPad in several ways in my class.
I teach with the iPad.
I'm Jesse Nelson, and I teach with the iPad.
And we use the iPad to measure heart rates in our training classes. Everything we talked about, and then do-si-do, back to your corner. Ready? Go. We've also invested in heart rate monitor technology. Basically, the students come in, they put on a heart rate at the beginning of class, but come over to the iPad, check to make sure that their heart rate monitor is registering. And then throughout the workout, they can see where their heart rate's at, and if they need to get within their target heart rate zone. When the workout's over, we've got each student's email address listed in the system. So basically we just hit send and they get an email of their entire workout. Gets kids really excited. Anytime you incorporate technology into the classroom, I think it enhances learning.
We're going to do a little kind of group share out with Padlet today. I really use it for collaboration and communication purposes. I have found that students with the iPad tend to almost be in control of their own learning, and rather than me just giving them information, students are learning from each other. Today in my class with Padlet, I had students go through a short reflection activity where they thought about their project and posted some ideas on how it relates to progress.
What are costs and benefits of progress? In order to educate everyone, it costs a lot of money.
Post a comment onto a blank wall, and as a teacher I can move around these comments, and as a class we can reflect on our ideas, we can organize and categorize students' thoughts. A lot of students who you may not hear from in small groups or are too shy to raise their hand in a large group share amazing ideas for the class through the iPad.
If the length here was 4, iPads are predominantly always where they take their notes. So every day they have the iPad in their note section, they open it up, take notes on the iPad, and sometimes we do homework checks, sometimes we do quizzes, so then they're opening those up, accessing those, and from there, it's what I love about it, it instantly is accessible to see how they did. It's a real good organizational tool. Everything's right there. They come in with their iPad. They never forget their iPads. So the Schoology, other than the notes, the Schoology is stuff that they go on constantly that they can go ahead and they can access what their homework is. If they're absent, they've got worksheets they can access. They communicate with me through Schoology if I do an update. So a lot of times I'll post, what do they have? Here's their key to their review assignment. Come tomorrow only with questions. So that's really been a time saver as far as going through all the stuff in class as well. iPads have really helped the kids focus. Those kids that used to be like it was drilling teeth to get them to take notes, they actually like it. I mean, because the kids are really creative about the way they take notes.
And it's my first year using the iPad in class, and it's been amazing what kids have been able to do and been able to create using the iPad.
Now for the cool down, let's start with the lunch.
One of the assignments that our 8th grade students do is they create their own fitness video using the app iMovie.
Hey guys, Mr. Nelson here.
Another way that I use the iPad is I create videos prior to the unit starting that kids are able to watch, and they answer questions so that I know when the kids come in for their first day of the unit that they already understand what we're going to do, they understand the rules and the strategies so that we can get right into activity the first day they get there. In PE, we struggle with the time constraints that we have of kids changing and at the beginning and end of class. Well, our flipped classroom approach has allowed us to utilize every minute that we have in physical education.
The dancers learn to samba together. The app that we found most useful this year, working with the transition students in the DCD program, is called News to You. So when it was on paper, we would have to read a lot of things to them. And what's cool about the app is that it has a text-to-speech feature built in. So for some of our kids who struggle to speak verbally using complete sentences, this allows them to go ahead and participate in a new way and read to the group using the text-to-speech option.
What is this paper about?
So the app will read the question and then allows them to also read through the answers. And
Beatlemania.
I know every morning they come in and they use reading A to Z to listen to stories, and it's all kind of at their level. I found this to just be a really great way to engage students and draw out more communication from them. Being able to participate really does build the momentum and have them take that next step forward.
You've got the negative out front here, kind of leave it alone.
Some of the things that I'm most excited about are what I've been doing with Google Forms. I can see instantly what kids' responses are, and as I'm walking around the room I can respond to what they're doing right or wrong in real time. There's no way to hide under the radar for a kid. They can't get away with pretending they got it right. We play this great game called Kahoot, which allows the kids to do practice problems in a fun, game-like environment. They almost don't even realize they're working. They get so into it. They get really excited. Kids send me questions, which they often do.
Hey Olivia, on day 4 there were 2 main properties.
What I'll be able to do is respond with a video response. I'll make a quick show me and explain everything, and instead of trying to type out all these lengthy explanations about how to do a math problem, I can show it and I can explain it and I can get that video to them in about 3 minutes, and it's a much better way for me to communicate with my kids.
And I feel like that gives them a sense of empowerment.
Students are instantly more engaged with the iPad.
Before we just kind of looked at their effort and kind of subjectively gauged how hard they were working. Now we have objective data.
I can instantly see what did they know, what didn't they know.
I'm Jesse Nelson.
Peggy Glockham.
Jason Opsahl.
Lacey Rotem.
Cindy McGlasson.
Gina Nelson.
And we use the iPad.
In my teaching.
I teach with the iPad.
I use the iPad.
And I teach with the iPad.